What we've created here, what I've created, is a career pathway or a college pathway specifically into an automotive field or engineering. Students can take anywhere up to about 8 levels of automotive technologies, from Auto 1, 2, which will be starting with a small single-cylinder engine, all the way up to the design and engineering of their own vehicle. The Porsche to my right is an example of previous classes, what they've designed and built, and to my left is the electric motorcycle, which students are currently engineering and building. So I came directly from industry, which meant I was ill-prepared to be a teacher. I was horrible at my job, didn't know how to become good at my job. So I asked the students, at the end of each term, I asked them, what 5 things would you keep? What did I do well? And then what did I not do well? Give me 5 things that I'm not good at. And you can't just complain, but you actually have to tell me how you would fix it. Tell me what you want. So the first 3 years, that's exactly what I did. And mostly what they wanted was some relevance. They wanted to know that their education had value outside of the classroom and had relevance to their lives. And so that's what I've created. I've created a real world atmosphere in which the students do 100% from the talking to the customer when they come in, filling out the work order, dealing with the parts departments, dealing with incorrect parts when it happens, and then fixing the car, diagnosing their repair, making sure it was done, then talking to the customer again when it's finished. The problem-solving aspect, which is huge, that's for everyone, no matter what field they go into. So the typical day for my student who wants to be an auto tech is literally they'll come to school here. Partners in Education provides internships. They're wonderful. All of my students who want to be techs have been interns, which gives them that experience, not to mention that first step. And quite often the interns get hired. So I think 3 or 4 of my students right now go to work after they leave here in industry. With the understanding they'll go to City College, they'll earn a certificate, and continue on. So yeah, they're already working, some of them for a couple of years. Since the students are very clear about what they want to do, by and large, what I've done is written curriculum. So we are dual enrollment with 6 different classes. So the students can take this class 3.5 years, and when they're done, they will have 18 units of City College credit and 3 years, 6 classes of a weighted honors grade. So the way I'm incorporating technology in the classroom is when the students are first introduced to the class, they're given a small engine, a manual, a repair set of steps, and a couple of computers with internet access. And what they have to do is completely disassemble, find the bad parts, and reassemble with very little or no help from me, all using those resources. Now, some are old school, traditional, I'm opening a book, I'm looking at pages, but the majority of the time, they're actually on their smartphones. They use that, ironically, more often than a 15-inch, traditional desktop computer, which I find pretty interesting. So yeah, from the get-go, they're learning they have to solve it on their own. The traditional model seems to be, if I have a problem, I do this, the teacher tells me the answer, and then 3 weeks from now, when the test comes, I give it back to them. In my classroom, it's you teach yourselves how it works within a small group, and then you explain it to me so that I will be able to understand it. Once they've been able to do that, then they're good to go, and that's actually going to be, I think, more useful whatever they do. And the neat thing is, I'm just bred, this whole program is set up and dovetails perfectly into the Common Core. This is project-based learning 100%. The neat thing is a student that may not be what we consider a traditionally good student, right? I can bubble in the right bubble. Is really good with their hands and being able to show me that they have mastery of the subject matter. So they have that opportunity in a number of different ways, either through graphic design, either through actual disassembly and reassembly, through explanation verbally. Literally, sometimes the students kind of act it out. They're there and they're moving, and that's their medium by which they're best at conveying information. So our testing model is all over the place, and that works out perfectly for Common Core. The way student learning works here is I create what I call rainbow groups. You know, I take students, student interests, and who their friends are, and then I try to create a cross-section of groups. There are 4 students in that group. Each, hopefully, I've identified through a metric that I've written, there's different skill sets. And what they've learned, in case you can't see around you, is they work collaboratively to solve the problem within that group, which of course is any business atmosphere. There are 5 of you here working together to solve a problem. So it's very, very real world in its application to anything, and that's my shtick. You know, you don't ever have to fix a car. You're going to own a car, you're going to have it maintained, but you're all going to have to problem solve. You're all going to have to work in a group. You're going to have to work with disparate people with different personalities and different ways of doing things. And you're going to have to find a way to come together and making it work. And so that's what they do. My student demographic matches the school demographic. We're about 55% Latino, and that's usually the way my class is made up. We're an excellent cross-section. And those students are, from I want to be an auto tech, that's going to be my goal, to I want to be a doctor or an engineer. And that's where the differentiated instruction comes in, and that's it in action. Each group is doing something completely different based on what their interests are and where their skill level is. So at each stage through, I have students who have been here for 1 semester and some for 3.5 years. And the neat thing is they continue to climb. So it's a perfect pathway to college, to industry, or to community college or trade school, any of those things. It's just a great gig. Females in class. When I said that we accurately represent the student population, I meant by race, not by gender, unfortunately. I am actively recruiting females for the class. We have 1 now. So next year it looks like we'll have 3 females in spring, and hopefully this is the start of something where we actually have gender neutrality or equality. Okay, the reality is there's no funding, there's no budget. Everything I've got, what you see here and here, I went out in the community and got. I got the cash for this, I got the car, I got the donations, I got the parts. You have to have a strong community involvement. You have to have industry partners. You have to have a strong tie to that community. You need to have been in there for a while. So if what you want to do is start up something like this, you either need to have somebody with deep pockets, right? Or a district that can fund that, because quite frankly, my district budget is $360 a year. So what drives me to stay here is, number 1, the first round of students I had, my 4th year here, they actually went out in industry and got jobs. And I'll never forget, I saw that first student, that first graduate who I helped get a job, who had been working. Not a very demonstrative student, real quiet, liked football the best in school. Walked up to me, shook my hand, both hands, eye contact. Mr. Granger, thank you. I'm living my dream, and it's thanks to you. I mean, if I could bottle it and sell it, I'd be the richest man in the world. So that's what keeps me doing it. The students who actually have opportunities that would not have. I asked a student a while ago, where would you be 2 years, 3 years from now if not for this? He said, in jail. He didn't even have to think about it. So those kinds of stories are what make it worthwhile. My name is Russ Granger. I am the automotive technologies teacher at San Marcos High School.